Now there's been another surprise retirement from the Lionesses.
Yeah, after being told she would not be in the England squad for the Euros, Fran Kirby has announced the end of her international career. Kirby was left out of the 23-player squad for last night's 2-1 Nations League defeat to Spain, and then told her teammates in the dressing room afterwards that she would no longer be playing for the Lionesses, having not been selected for next month's tournament. Kirby played 77 times for England, scoring 19 times, and was a part of the Euros winning squad, of course, in 2022. The news follows Mary Earps' international retirement last week, with Hannah Hampton, the new England #1.
Well, Kirby posted this statement on social media last night. After being in the England squad since I was 21, it's time to close that chapter of my life. I didn't ever want this day to come, but I cannot tell you how proud I am it happened. It's been the biggest honour to represent my country, one that I had only dreamt about as a young girl. I've played with some incredible players, worked with some incredible managers, played in some amazing tournaments and have some irreplaceable memories. My journey has been full of ups and downs, setbacks and achievements. Enough has been said and written about those, but regardless of whatever was thrown at me, I want you all to know that every time I put on that England badge, I gave 100%. Starting in every game and winning the Euros in 2022 was a dream come true. To be part of a change in women's football was one of the best experiences I could have ever imagined. To every young girl that suffers setbacks, just remember, you can. You can. Forever a Lioness. Fran.
Right, let's get more on that now, and we can head live to Barcelona and join our reporter Anton Taloui, who was at the game last night. Hello, Anton. Let's start with Fran Kirby, of course, then. How did this news get to you then after the game?
It's interesting. We got confirmation of Fran Kirby's retirement literally the moment she sat on the team bus. She was out at the stadium. They hit send on the release saying that Fran Kirby was retiring from international football. I'm told it was another emotional scene, this time in the change room at full time, when Kirby confirmed to her teammates that obviously she was retiring from international football after finding out earlier in the week that basically she wouldn't be part of the Lionesses squad unless there was an injury in these games against Portugal and Spain to any of the midfielders. That didn't happen, so Kirby's retirement was confirmed. And instantly you start thinking about the week and the situation that England are in with the squad announcement for the Euros tomorrow. So obviously England have lost Fran Kirby. That's 77 caps worth of experience. Mary Earps retired on last Tuesday as well. That's another 53 caps worth of experience. And there are still question marks about Millie Brighton, whether she'll be available for the Euros as well. That's 88 caps worth of experience. And England's captain at the last World Cup, Sarina Wiegman, says she still has to have discussions with Brighton about whether she'll make herself available for this summer's tournament. But all she wanted to focus on last night was just paying tribute to Fran Kirby as a fantastic player and a wonderful person.
First of all, I loved working with her. I think she has had an incredible career, which is still going on in the Women's Super League. And she's an amazing player. She's an incredible person too. Did everything to make the squad. Yeah, I'm really, really proud of her, and I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to work with her. An incredible footballer, but as a person, like what she has had in front of her, and then coming back every time, yeah, that has been really incredible too. She's an inspiration. I think she's an inspiration for a lot of people and an example. Absolutely.
In her statement, Anton, Fran Kirby did mention that she's had a lot of setbacks. She has suffered with injury, but she was one of the Lionesses' first real stars, wasn't she, of the new era? A lot of people that perhaps couldn't name a player a few years ago would probably have been able to name Fran Kirby. What will her legacy be?
Fran Kirby is one of the most mercurial, talented players of a generation. She came into the England team in 2014 while still a second division player at Reading. She kind of set the world alight with just playing this sort of just free football that England weren't really associated with at the time. She made it to the 2015 World Cup. She scored during the 2015 World Cup, and everyone was sort of dubbing her this mini Messi, this player that's obviously diminutive in stature with a kind of indie guitarist hairdo, just sort of stood out naturally on the pitch. But let her football do the talking. But then it was kind of just setback after setback when it came into injuries, as you were saying. but she still managed to come back, and she was dealing with ankle and knee injuries for years after she moved to Chelsea, but still starring in their sort of fantastic performances. But then obviously she got diagnosed with a heart condition, pericarditis, in 2021. While the rest of the world was contemplating how to get through lockdown, she was contemplating whether she'd ever play football again. She did play football again at the very highest level, managing to make a late surge into the Euro squad and starting every single game when England won the biggest competition in their history. She then missed the 2023 World Cup with a knee injury, and she's been in and out sort of the last season at Chelsea, again through injury before moving to Brighton, when she looked freer again, didn't she? She looked like she'd found joy and creativity again, but as the season progressed, she played less and less in the WSL, and Sarina Wiegman had to have a very difficult conversation with her, which was, look, we don't think you're at the level at the moment, which means you should be in the squad. So I think it's really difficult, but she's had one heck of a career. She's talked about so fondly by all of her teammates, and Lucy Bronze has been there every step of the way internationally.
I said a little speech about, I remember 10 years ago she got the name Mini Messi, rightly so, because she just lit up the stage in an England shirt, and I think all the players who now play for England probably dreamed of playing with Fran Kirby one day because she was that good, and obviously they all managed to do it. I think everyone's so proud of what Fran's achieved on the pitch. She's obviously had to come over so many obstacles in her personal life as well as physically to play, but she's been unbelievable. One of them talents that, yeah, I mean, so special. I mean, I was there when she got that name, Mini Messi, and she hates it. She hates me mentioning it now, but she deserves it. She's been fantastic.
I will just add, Fran Kirby, in my opinion, is the most important player in the history of the WSL transfer window as well. When she moved from Reading to Chelsea for £60,000 10 years ago, it was a British record, but the first time we really talked about transfer fees in the women's game, which now we take for granted.